Welcome back to another edition of the One Pride Report. This one recapping the 2019 NFL season for the Detroit Lions in what was a very good season for the Lions. About time they finally had a winning record again. Looking at the schedule here, you see the team started out really well, 6-1. Then they suffered a horrible loss to the Bears, beat Broncos, beat the Raiders, beat Bears again, then lost to the Chiefs, beat the Vikings, lost to the Packers and Redskins, then walloped the Eagles, and then we know what happened in the playoffs. The Lions beat the Seahawks, and they ended up losing to the Redskins in the NFC Championship 31-3. So as you take a look at the rest of the standings here, Bob Quinn, again, he held a season-end press conference, kind of discussed the state of the team, and we had a couple of big-time takeaways from that press conference. Obviously, he did say that he wanted to address cornerback in some capacity. He understands that Teez Tabor at this point is replacement level at best. He's not very good, and he has not developed into that shutdown corner opposite Darius Slay that the Lions have been hoping for. Detroit is also looking for potentially finding a young linebacker to eventually replace DeAndre Levy, as he is getting up there in years. And as you can see, the New York Jets have clinched the #1 overall pick. Now, looking at Detroit's stats on the season, Caleb Henderson, we all know his stats: 3,648 yards, 45 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. What a great rookie season from a great rookie quarterback. At halfback, Samaje Perine led the league in rushing with 1,400 yards, 6 touchdowns, most attempts in the league as well with 308, but 5 fumbles. He needs to get that down next season. D.D. Westbrook, 1,121 receiving yards, 19 touchdowns, and as you'll see a little bit later on, that's third most all time. He did that all in 12 games as well. Corey Smith from Whitfield, Trey Burton, Noel Brown, Samaje Perine, all on that list. Ray Washington, not as involved in the passing offense as the Lions wanted him to be. Sacks given up, Trey Burton gave up 3, Taylor Decker 2, Maya Tuma 1, Darrell Williams, I bet you he gave up more than 1. He was pretty bad on the year. Brandon Jones, the safety, with 103 tackles. Malik Hooker with 97, Spawn Anthony 96, Darius Slay 76, and Teez Tabor 72. Looking at tackles for loss, Stephon Anthony with 17. He has been a godsend for the Lions. Ziggy Ansah with 11, and you can see the rest right there. Looking at the sacks this year, A'Shawn Robinson led the team in sacks 5.5. Ziggy Ansah 3.5. Jaquan Henderson 3.5. So the interior is where the Lions are really getting their pressure, but the edge rushers, Ziggy Ansah, Dante Fowler, a combined 6.5 sacks on the year. That's not going to cut it. Spawn Anthony with 4 picks, Levy with 3, Jordan with 2, Slay with 2, Tabor with 2, Whitehead 1, Hooker 1, Diggs 1, and Glover Quinn even had 1. Looking at kicking, game still doesn't register this for no reason. And punting, Sam Martin, 27 punts on season. Good year for him. Usain Bolt finally got a kick return touchdown, but no punt return touchdowns this year from him. And now we're going to take a look at the stats from around the league, something we have not done so far this season on the One Pride Report. Aaron Rodgers ended up leading the NFL in passing yards. Philip Rivers still kicking it. Blake Bortles, Josh Rosen, Andy Dalton, Deshaun Kaiser, Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Brad Kaya, Jimmy Garoppolo, Andrew Luck, Matty Ice, Jameis Winston, Jared Goff, and there's Caleb Henderson. There's Chad Kelly, Russell Wilson, Teddy Bridgewater, Carson Wentz, Matthew Stafford. You can see pass touchdowns, Caleb Henderson leads by 11 with 45, Aaron Rodgers 34, Bortles with 34, Goff with 33, Rivers 29, Mahomes 29, Rosen 27, Dalton 26, Jackson 26. You can see the rest as they scroll down on the screen. Winston, Garoppolo, Wentz, Bridgewater, Newton, Chad Kelly, rough year for him. Interceptions, Jared Goff threw 26 on the season, so that is not good for the former number 1 overall pick. Paxton Lynch threw 17 interceptions in like 9 games. I'm pretty sure it's safe to call him a bust at this point. Brett Hundley with 15, he was bad. Carson Wentz, Matty Ice had a down year. Luke Falk up there. Mahomes, Garoppolo, Bridgewater, Rivers, you can see the rest. Time sack, Andrew Luck was sacked a whopping 69 times. I don't think he meant to take that many sacks on purpose. Josh Rosen, Cam Newton, Christian Hackenberg, Derek Carr, Paxton Lynch, Big Ben, Stafford, Rodgers, and Kaya all tied up with 31. Rushing yards went over this. Samaje Perine leads in rushing with 1,400 yards, 6 touchdowns. TJ Yeldon, 1,200 yards. Barkley, 1,200 yards. McCaffrey, Adrian Peterson, Devontae Freeman, Thomas Ross, Trey Mason, Dante Foreman, Jay Ajayi, Melvin Gordon, and Nick Chubb all over 1,000 yards on the season. Looking at rushing touchdowns, Terrence West at 15, Thomas Ross at 12, Kenyon Drake had 12, Le'Veon Bell at 11, Tevin Coleman had 11, Dante Foreman had 10, Tom McCoy had 10, Christian McCaffrey had 9, Dalvin Cook with 9, Antonio Andrews with 9, Jamal Charles with 9. Rushing fumbles, Eddie Lacy had 6, Chad Kelly had 5, Dante Foreman had 5, Elijah Hood had 5, Jay Ajayi with 5, Kenneth Dixon with 5, and Samaje Perine had 5 fumbles on the year. Looking at receiving, Antonio Callaway, 122 catches, Allen Hurns with 103, Randall Cobb with 95, Antonio Brown, AJ Green, Ravin Doral. Receiving yards, Keenan Allen, 1,403, AJ Green, Julio Jones, Ravin Doral, DeAndre Hopkins, Antonio Brown, Demaryius Thomas, Odell Beckham, Jordan Reed, Antonio Callaway, Corey Coleman, Allen Hurns, Dede Westbrook, Brandon Cook, Allen Robinson, Randall Cobb, Emeka St. Brown, Sammy Watkins, Cordero Patterson, Christian Kirk, Kelvin Benjamin, Michael Floyd, and Kendall Wright, Calvin Ridley, Jarius Wright, Darren Carrington. You can see the rest on screen right there. Receiving touchdowns, Dede Westbrook led by 5 with 19, Antonio Callaway 14, Brandon Cook 11, Sammy Watkins 11, Kevin White 10, Jarius Wright 10, Allen Robinson 10, and Michael Floyd had 10 on the season. Longest reception goes to Ryan Doherty with a 93-yard catch and run, so good for him. Blocking, most sacks given up, DeMar Dotson gave up 25. That's pretty terrible. Defensively, CJ Mosley led the AFC in tackles. Ray Maluga second, Avery Williamson, Reuben Foster, Anthony Walker, Denzel Perriman, Telvin Smith. You can see the rest: Miles Jack, Harold Jones Quarterly, Alvin Smith, J.J. Watt. Tackles for loss, Muhammad Wilkerson at 27, J.J. Watt with 22, Darren Williams. You saw his numbers. Yeah. So sacks, J.J. Watt, 25 sacks on the season. That is ridiculous. Marvin Edwards, 18. Ed Oliver, 14.5. That's great for a rookie. There's Darrell Casey, Sheldon Richardson, Devontae Fields, Canton Kamatule, Jihad Ward, Marquise Haynes, Von Miller. Interceptions, Quincy Wilson at 6, Vontae Davis with 6, Jimmy Smith with 6, Marcus Peters with 5, David Emerson with 5, Jalen Ramsey with 4, Logan Ryan with 4, Jimmy Collins with 4. And let's go to the NFC here. Look at the NFC defensive stats. Alec Ogletree led in tackles, Sherrod Davis second, Bobby Wagner, Navarro Bowman, Deion Jones, Danny Trevathan, Raekwon McMillan, Aaron Lynch, Deion Buchanan, Michael Kendricks. Tackles for loss, Aaron Donald with 27 of them, Damon Harrison with 21, Stephon Anthony up there with 17, Carlos Watkins with 16, Benito Jones up there, the rookie. Good season for him. Quarterback sacks, Randy Gregory with 14.5. Down year for sacks in the NFC, but Randy Gregory and Cameron Jordan, look at that. The Saints are getting a crap ton of sacks. Gregory, Jordan, and Nick Fairley all up there. Josh Norman, Orlando Sandrick tied with 7 picks. Eli Apple with 5 picks. Cordero Tankley with 4. Luke Kuechly with 4. And Royal Bowman with 4. Tyrann Mathieu with 4. Richard Sherman with 4. Now looking at the kicking stats in both the AFC and the NFC now. Most accurate kicker goes to Mason Crosby, Chandler Catanzaro. And punting, Marquette King is a beast. That's all you need to know. Sam Martin had the least punts in the NFL. Kick returns, a lot of them this year. Amari Cooper with 2, Nick Chubb with 2, and a lot of people had 1. That's really all you need to know. Even Theo Riddick had 1, so good for him. And now punt returns, not many people had 1 of these, as John Broussard, Sammy Watkins, Patrick Peterson, Ronald Jones, and Tajay Sharp all had a punt return. Now, as we get ready to wrap it up here, let's take a look at a couple of records for Adrian Peterson. As you know, he did retire. He is up there in rushing yards and rushing touchdowns. Also, a couple of Lions players made the NFL record leaderboards. Caleb Henderson tied with Aaron Rodgers for 45 passing touchdowns in a season, and for receiving touchdowns, Dede Westbrook finished third all time with 19 receiving touchdowns in 2019.